Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a very Liginia. Karibu sana. If you're new here, karibu. Yes, so on to the topic of today. Today I'm going to be talking about toxic workplaces. So I've experienced it. I've been, I won't mention the organizations, but I've experienced it, So for me, it all began, it was, this specific organization. It was all good. Like I was so excited about the opportunity, and I got a lot of good things from it, and I got to learn a lot of things from it. But at the same time, I felt like it was toxic because the management, even how they were just doing things, it was just off. And I came from being so excited every day, wanting to get there early, just pumped to just do my work, to just feeling demotivated, to just even having breakouts on my face because I don't know, for some reason when I get stressed out, and that's one of the signs that I always get whenever I'm in a toxic situation or a toxic environment or a toxic workplace. So I get breakouts, like very bad breakouts. So that's what happened. And the boss at the time was very demanding, and she would push, especially for deadlines. And it was just, it was too much. Like I couldn't handle it. Yeah, and eventually it just didn't work out because even my health was suffering. Like I became so stressed out. I was fatigued all the time. Couldn't concentrate. So it was really bad. And now it's just weird because it was a place where if it had just good management, it could have been amazing, and an amazing place to work in, and I could have stayed for as long as it could have taken, but since it wasn't good. So that was one. Let me see another one. There's another one. It was like just find maybe the boss is just insulting the employees, calling them unprintable names, just what is wrong with you, shouting at an employee or belittling an employee. It's like you're just a slave of some sort. So I didn't like that. So for me, and it's hard, especially if you're a creative and you just want to be free, you just want to have your freedom, you just want to be able to express yourself, without being limited to a way of thinking. There's most of organization's story to say they always want you to think a certain way, and like you can't be free. So it's really hard, and I admire people who actually stay in places for years and years and all that, and they have that resilience, and I really admire that. But yeah, today I'll be focusing on toxic work environments, and I'll just give you a few pointers to see whether you're in one, and if you can be able to notice that you're in one. So number one, excessive stress. When you're feeling like you're so stressed, like I used to feel like I couldn't just, even in the morning, like I never felt like waking up. I was always tired. I was always even tired going back home. I was always just tired. I was like, oh my God, dreading the next day. And if it's like on a weekend, I was always dreading Monday. It's usual to dread Mondays, as an adult most of the time. But it's that dread, like really, like something bad is going to happen. Like I hated it. That feeling was just bad. Or even after maybe a holiday and then you have to go back to work, I just felt like, oh. So excessive stress, management issues, uncertainty about your job. Probably you feel like, there are rumors going around, probably like your job is not safe, probably, there's just a lot that can cause you to just be stressed at the workplace, and then you get burnout. Sometimes maybe you've been overworked and then you experience burnout, and you just want to just get some time out to relax and just recharge. So when you notice that you're always burnt out, you're always stressed out, then that could be a sign that you're in a toxic work environment. Then the other point is also high turnover rates. When you see, maybe when you ask around and you notice that employees are just quitting, like every now and then, you just find one is quitting one after the another, like even in a day, like that 10 people have quit, then that's a red flag, and it could be that environment is toxic. And maybe the company is not paying the employees well, limited pay, giving them a lot of work. And then maybe the company culture is toxic, it's not favorable to the employees. And the other point is also robotic systems. So there are organizations where they just have robotic systems. They just want you to be like, hi, give me the file. Yes, I'm going to my computer. Yes, sir. And then you're there, and then the supervisor is monitoring you. You can't even turn your head away from the computer. Like you have to be focused. Like they just come and micromanage you. Like, and then you're like, okay, hi, sir. what do you need today? They just want you to be, okay, I'm exaggerating, but that kind of thing. They want you to be like robots, just work, 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 work. Resting is minimal, like, taking breaks is minimal, like even just taking a breather just to crack a joke or something. Like it's not supposed to be that hard. I feel, it's not supposed to be that serious, because we are humans, we're not robots, so they shouldn't do that too, the employees. Yeah. And then the other point also, if there's no work and life balance, you find yourself just working, there's no balance. Sometimes even, that's why most organizations, they organize for sports, for people to just break the ice. They organize for trips, and even sometimes even during work hours, they can just do something like an energizer thing just to keep the employees going, to give them energy. You can even motivate them with something, maybe even lunch. Just something will just make them feel more energized. Then the other point is also toxic cultures, like working overtime, without pay, working overtime without pay, expecting employees to completely work on weekends, I mean to complete their work on weekends. Sometimes, weekends are supposed to be for resting and, to be able to recharge and then be able to come back with energy. But now there are organizations where they're like, no, you have to finish this work, and they keep on calling you over the weekends, probably even you're at a function. So it's really hard to balance. So it's toxic. And then, it's like they own you. They want you to be there at their beck and call. If they call you, I need you now to come at work now. And then maybe you're so far away. Maybe you had gone, you had taken a leave, and then they're like, no, your leave is cancelled. You're needed here right now. You can imagine that craziness. Then the other point is also being belittled. So when you're being belittled, maybe your boss is like, you're not, just making you feel small, making you feel like, you're not, you're just there to offer your services. It's just like you're just not human. You're not like you're worthy of respect or something of that sort. So whenever you feel belittled, then that could be a sign that you're in a toxic work environment. Then the other point is also lack of motivation from the employer. So as I said, employees need things like energizers. They need, just give them compensation sometimes, and then also encourage them, give them promotions. The employees who are working hard, the people who work for companies for years and years, and they do their level best, they outshine, they just do everything, they give it 110%, but yet they're not promoted, they're not even given anything, they're not even given encouragement. So if a company can be able to just do these things, to just encourage them, sometimes just give them a bonus or something, just do something just to encourage these employees, and then, they'll be able to be more motivated, and then you won't even have that high turnover of employees. Then the other point is also leaving zero room for mistakes. So when an organization doesn't accept like mistakes, they want you to be perfect, like 100. If you make a mistake, then there's so much pressure that is put on you. So employees will tend to walk in eggshells. They won't feel free to even be able to think outside the box and just be creative in solving issues. So it really makes them feel drained. It makes them feel like they're suffocating. So just be able to allow them to have, give them some room for mistakes, and then be able to correct them if they make a mistake. Then the other point is also micromanagement. So when your employer is micromanaging you, following your every task, so that creates like a lack of trust. It's like you don't trust your employee to be able to carry out their tasks well. So that even that employee will not feel free. They'll feel like they're going to mess up. So even them, they'll be self-conscious and not do their work to their level best, because you're all over, micromanaging. Even them, they don't feel comfortable, just being micromanaged all the time. They just kind of give them freedom, at the same time of course, manage them well, but do not micromanage them. Then the other point is also most people are in cliques, and there's a lot of like gossip culture. So you find that in a working place, there are people who are in cliques, the cool crowd, the ones that are quiet, the ones that, maybe they don't, maybe they dress weirdly, they're just those cliques. And then there's a lot of gossip. You find, there's a rumor going around. So if you find that kind of environment, then it could be that your environment is toxic. And, that's why you feel like sometimes I just don't want to go to work. I just don't want to go to work. Even if you're out there somewhere, maybe it's over the weekend and you're having a good time, but you'll still feel like, oh my God, I have to go to work. I have to go to work. Like it will just disturb you. And it will even affect your life, and even affect maybe even your family, because you find yourself, you're under a lot of pressure. So sometimes you kind of like release it into the people that you love and all that, so which is not good. Then the other point is also growth stagnation. So you find yourself like you've not grown in your career, and this environment is not, this organization is not helping you, and they don't offer mobility. They don't offer you, as in, you're not able to move from one stage to another. You're not able to grow. You've been there for years and years, and you're still in the same position, still getting the same amount of money. Nothing has changed. So if you feel like this is not working out for you, and they're not even noticing your hard work, you're putting it all in, you're giving it 110%, but they're not appreciating your efforts. So that could be a sign that you're in a toxic work environment. So yeah, those are the points that I wanted to come up with today. So if you have more points, kindly put them down on the comment section down below, and I'll appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. As usual, I love you so much. Take care of yourselves, and adios.